The number of bacteria in a liquid medium doubles every day. There are 44,000 bacteria in the liquid medium at the start of the observation, which represents the number of bacteria Y in the liquid medium T days after the start of the observation. Since the number of bacteria doubles every day, we are dealing with an exponential function, which will look something like this, where Y is the number of bacteria, A is some constant, B is some constant, and T is the number of days after the start of the observation, and the independent variable here. So, since there are 44,000 bacteria at the start, this means that when time t is equal to 0, which is the start of the observation, the number of bacteria, y, should equal 44,000. So we can just plug that into these equations. When t is equal to 0 here, we get 1/2 times 44,000 raised to the 0. Any quantity raised to the 0 power is equal to 1. So this will just reduce to 1/2 times 1, which is just equal to 1/2, which is incorrect because there should be 44,000 bacteria at the start of the observation when time t equals 0. Okay, so if we look at the second option here, when we plug in 0 for t, we get 2, because 44,000 raised to the 0 power is just 1, and that multiplied with 2 just gives us 2, which is also incorrect. And then for C here, we get 44,000 times 1/2 raised to the 0. So 1/2 raised to the 0 power is just equal to 1, and 1 times 44,000 is 44,000, which is correct, since there are 44,000 bacteria at the start of the observation. And then same for answer choice D, we get 44,000 as well, because 2 raised to the 0 is just 1, and 44,000 times 1 is just 44,000. So we're left with answer choice C and D. So now we can check how many bacteria there should be on day 1. After 1 day of observation, the number of bacteria should have doubled. So on day 1, the number of bacteria should be 88,000. So if we plug in this time t equals 2 or t equals 1, we get 44,000 times 1/2, because 1/2 raised to the first power is just 1/2, and this will give us 22,000 or 22,000, which is incorrect because the number of bacteria was supposed to double, not half. Okay, and then if we plug in t equals 1 into D here, we get 44,000 times 2, which is equal to 88,000, which is correct because the number of bacteria after 1 day should have doubled to 88,000. So when t equals 1, D is true, and which means D is the only correct answer left, so D is the correct answer.